Well, Ireland is probably one of the leading locations for biopharm manufacturing, and there's a number of reasons for this. I suppose primary reason, and probably one of the first reasons, is it's a very attractive location from a taxation point of view, but also it has a significantly skilled and capable workforce, a very high standards of regulation, location in the European Union. We have an emerging sector, and I believe that Ireland is now second only to the USA in terms of a biotech or biopharm sector. Our research institutions, Science Foundation Ireland for instance, has prioritised biotechnology for some time, so therefore we do have people and research capabilities which will help to support such emerging businesses. I think probably one of the best examples of collaboration between third level institutions and industry, and I suppose even skills, would be the National Institute for Bioprocessing Research and Training, which we call NIBRT for short. And NIBRT is a very effective resource for the industry because, as well as providing research for bioprocessing especially, it also is an extremely effective training facility for those who wish to work in the industry. We would collaborate with Mcgee Pharma on particular quality or regulatory issues which would be of importance to the industry. They would address conferences for us, they address workshops, and obviously they would deal in some detail with a lot of our member companies. So they would be regarded as being a leading regulatory / compliance consultant.
I think that Ireland is a wonderful gateway to Europe for a number of reasons. We have a very good tax regime, so it's beneficial for companies economically to base here. We have incentives for research and development that encourages companies who are not manufacturing yet but perhaps wish to do so and want initially to do R&D. We have a very strong talent pool to choose from of experience. We also have a very strong education system, so we're continually bringing forth new talent. And because, particularly pharma, but other areas here too, like electronics, because the concentration of industry here is so high, people get very good experience moving around different companies, building up their expertise, which they then can bring to bear in an employment situation. Also, Ireland is becoming very cosmopolitan. So we have a lot of immigrants now choosing to live here, and it's wonderful to have them. And that's bringing a lot of language diversity that perhaps we haven't had before. English being the primary business language is of course a distinct advantage for us, but the ability to be able to have international language now as well is also an added benefit.
So when you're establishing your operations in Europe within the pharmaceutical industry, you need to be fully aware both of your own business model and of the requirements within the EU regulatory system. This would include authorisations and registrations that apply to the different elements of the pharmaceutical supply chain. For instance, if you're a pharmaceutical company who are wholesaling or involved in the procurement activities related to the supply chain, even if you're not physically taking hold of the product, this is a regulated activity within the EU and requires you to hold a wholesale distribution authorisation. And in order to do that, you must have a fully developed quality management system to control and manage your activities. So MPI can help you to identify into each of the markets you want to distribute product, or indeed any market that you might want to establish specific operations in, to understand what the local regulatory requirements are and to understand what the local expectations are. And we can do this by utilising our network of associates across the EU. MPI have helped all our clients who we have supported in QMS development to support authorisations here within Europe to achieve those regulatory authorisations on first pass. MPI likes to get to understand and know the business and the people they're delivering projects with, and then to adapt the delivery of those projects to meet the expectations and the requirements of those individuals. Some clients like to be pushed because they feel it's part of the service that MPI are going to drive them to meet the deliverables, whereas others prefer to take things at their own pace. And MPI can, through building relationships and understanding the client, can really match and meet those needs.
We have expertise specifically in the complexity of the EU. Companies that wish to establish their activities in Europe, and perhaps for the first time, really don't understand the structure. What we do is we bring clarity to them. We help them develop their strategy for accessing the European markets. And then we work with them on their systems and their process design to ensure that they'll meet the compliance requirements, which again vary from member state to member state. The ideal situation or strategy is to locate in one member state and then from there to manage the setup of affiliates, is what they're often called, sub-operations across other member states to enable business to grow. So what we have been doing in MPI is building our team of consultants, both within the EU and outside, to facilitate our clients, both from a cost but also from an operational point of view. So we have people in different countries who are experts in the requirements, regulatory requirements of those countries, but also located locally, who understand the nuances of doing business there, have relationships with the regulatory agencies, can facilitate introductions for clients to regulatory bodies, and can enable the process.